Folks are back. This is Steve Sanson and Jim Jonas with Veterans in Politics. Today we have Dan Lier. Hope I pronounced that right, Jim.
You did.
Dan is a candidate for Assembly District number 23. But before we get to Dan, Jim, you have any rants?
Yeah, I guess it's a rant. I don't know if people are paying attention.
You weren't here last week. What happened?
Gee, I don't know. I think that might have been a conflict of interest. Anyway. But anyhow. So I try really hard to not pick on the president because I do have so much respect for the office. And I'm not saying this is all his fault, but if people are not paying attention to some of the stuff that's going on right now, they better. The average gas price in the state of Nevada right now is $4.42 a gallon. That's the entire state. That's up from $2.10 when they took office. We have the average Nevadan right now.
You're blame it on Ukraine, but this is going on way before Ukraine, though.
The average income in a survey, 85% of Nevadans said, in order to pay all their bills on time without using credit cards,
they have to refinance their house.
Yeah, they would literally have to make $122,000 a year, which is twice the average national income. So, like, when we start seeing stuff like that, it's like there's got to be something going on. There's no way that just flips that quick. And also, Las Vegas is now the 7th most expensive city in the United States to live in.
Really? And we don't even have income tax.
Yeah, and the reason why most people move to Las Vegas is because of cost of living. And so I don't think it's all necessarily the Biden administration, but they do play a part in it, and shutting off the pipeline was a big mistake. And then you also look at what went on in Afghanistan. I was reading an article yesterday from the Department of Defense that said we left $1.1 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan. $1.1 billion could go a long way to helping people out here. Now, I know the Biden administration didn't get us into Afghanistan, but we might have wanted to think about that.
You could have sold all that stuff to Saudi Arabia.
Or, anything other than just leave it like that.
Saudis would have came in and got themselves.
So I guess the moral to what I'm trying to say is not so much bash the Biden administration. And you know, Steve, and I've said this to the viewers and listeners for a long time, I don't necessarily blame politicians for it. I blame us. Yeah. We're the ones that elect these people to office. And then we want to complain when things go bad and go, whoa, how come so-and-so did this? Or, well, you know what? If you actually did your education, did your research, educated yourself on these issues, and voted for the person that best would help out your situation, then stuff like this might not happen.
Well, you see, that's why shows like these are so important, because we get to the root of it. Yeah. I'm not down with a smiley face, a nice firm handshake, and tell me about your family tree. I give a rat's ass about that. Yeah. I want to know, as whatever you're running for, what are you going to do for the betterment of the state? Yep. That's what I want to know.
And that's why I'm glad too. And I want to thank our guests for coming in, because obviously I've said this in the past. I think city council is probably the most important form of government locally. But on a state level, I honestly believe it's the Assembly. Just like on the federal level, I believe it's Congress, because that's where it all starts. And the Assembly is where the money comes from.
And folks, I just want to make it clear, if you come on the show, and we usually follow up with an article about the show, but we use your own words. Don't get mad at us because we print your own words of what you say. That's just stupid. Get mad at yourself. You said it. You can't run from it.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's also one of the reasons why we also do Facebook Live. So then that way,
they can't say we edited.
The candidates understand that, like, hey, we don't edit out things and pick and choose what we're going to put on Facebook or YouTube, actually. But just so they know, and like, if you made a mistake and said something you didn't mean, well, okay. That's fine, but don't complain to us. You're the one that said it.
Exactly.
You know.
Don't say, "Oh, you took my words out of context." No, you took your own words out of context. Yeah. All I was the messenger.
Right.
But you have anything else?
No, that was it. And I'm sorry for being so long-winded and taking some of your time, but I needed to get that out there because when I started reading and pulling up some of those reports, and then when I went and bought gas and I put $40 worth of gas in, and I'm like, I just paid $4.49 a gallon for Arco gas? Yeah. I'm like, all right. So that's when I started pulling up all those reports.
So, Mr. Lier.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about yourself.
Well.
You're 6 what?
I'm 6'8".
Oh, stop that!
Head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah, you didn't play. You didn't play any college ball.
I did play college basketball. I played. I won 2 straight national titles as a college basketball player.
You got a ring?
I've got 2 rings.
Oh, you didn't bring them in?
Nope.
Because we wanted to pawn them.
Dude, I got more rings than LeBron James. That's right. Oh, that's right. He didn't go to college. That's right. So, I'm an ex-basketball player, but I've lived in Henderson since 2003. Originally from the Midwest. Born in Minnesota, but grew up in Michigan. My father was a school teacher. My stepmother was a school teacher.
You voted for Jesse the Body Ventura for governor?
No, I wasn't living there then. I was a long time. I mean, I left right after I graduated from high school, and and we were out of Minnesota very, very early. But been here since 2003, and I'm a small business owner, and I've seen what's happened to our state and what's happening in nationally, of course, and I don't think I know our country's not going in the right direction. So I've always been interested in politics, but quite frankly, I was a little bit afraid because I'm in the public domain, and people that hire speakers, they're speakers bureaus that book speakers. So it's like an agency. Like if you're an actor, you have an agent that books you. Well, a speakers bureau, I have bureaus that book me. So it's like multiple agents.
How much you get paid for that kind of stuff?
It depends. But typically it's women that are booking you, and oftentimes there's Democrats in there.
Did you go to Toastmasters for this job?
No.
Okay.
I worked for Tony Robbins for 6 years. I was his right-hand man.
Okay.
I built his seminar company.
Okay.
For 6 years. I lived in 30 cities in 6 years. And it was an incredible experience. So, people always talk about, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But I always talk about, it's execution that counts. You're going to get a candidate on here that's always going to say the same thing. We're going to really focus on healthcare. We're going to focus on school choice. We're going to focus on, everybody's going to say approximately the same thing.
They all say the same
But
crap.
who's got the skill set to execute? It's like when you listen to Kamala Harris right now, imagine that we've got buses that are all clean energy. Well, yeah, imagine, but someone's got to execute those things. I'm from the business world. You can imagine all you want, but you've got to execute. So my communication skills are very good. I'm incredible at negotiating, and so that's good for working across the aisle. People tell me I'm a likable guy, so I think, and I'm not afraid. Yeah. I'm not afraid. Yeah. And so my kids are gone. They live in Salt Lake City. They're both independent and on their own. I'm single right now. I just got a divorce not too long ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate that.
When is the party?
No, it's all good.
Have you watched their YouTube video on family court?
No, I don't.
You should watch that.
All right. But so, I mean, I don't have any I don't need to worry about, my kid's getting hassled at school, or, Dan's a Republican. And so I'm single, I'm on my own. I got nothing but time to focus for my constituents.
You been walking?
Not yet.
What are you waiting for? Somebody tell you?
Yeah, I don't know. My campaign team is telling me what to do. So I'm
fired them because you should have been walking like 2 weeks ago.
I'm new in the game. I just filed yesterday. I've been going to all the events. I've been meeting people. Yeah. I've done a great job of that, and now it's time to get walking. So
what are your boundary lines for 23?
It's kind of complicated because they moved everything.
I like complicated.
Yeah. Well, it's like Eastern Avenue in Henderson, and then it goes all the way up to Anthem Country Club. And that starts about right there.
Is it Eastern and Pebble where all the homeless is on the bridge?
It's way north of that. We're way past that. So it's like Anthem Country Club, Anthem Sun City, Boulder City, Laughlin. But there's still some weird lines in there. So I'd actually have to get the map out to tell you. But we're really excited about it. I've got 2 candidates running against me, 2 females. One's
screwed.
They're screwed. That's right. One's a real estate agent, and the other one is actually from Boulder City, and she's an ex-military.
Oh yeah.
And she's very likable. I like her a lot. She actually came to one of my meet and greets. I'm friends. So
how come you guys don't have a little conversation and one of you step out and support the other one?
Again, I'm new to the game, so if someone wants that to happen, I'm open to that. I'm open to that. But I don't. I'm in it to win it. I want to make a difference. So if there's strategy involved from some political organization, this is all new.
Did you raise any money yet?
Well, we're raising money right now. Yeah, we've been raising money. We've got great things on the horizon. I've got meetings with the NJA tomorrow. I've got Southwest Gas is sending me money. So I've done my work.
So how many BDRs do you have?
What's BDR mean?
Bill draft request.
I don't even know what that means.
You're going to have to know what that means if you're running for assembly.
Well, I will after this conversation. So go ahead and tell me.
All right, let me put it to more in layman's terms.
Yeah.
What laws would you like to see our state adapt, or what laws would you like to see our state amend?
Well, first thing we need to do, in my opinion, is we need to go take a look at SB 420, which
what is that?
Well, that is the bill that provides a public option for health care in our state. Okay. So what it's going to turn it into is socialized medicine, but it's like a 4-year ramp-up plan. Mm-hmm. So they study it. So we've got basically 4 or 5 years to turn this thing around and gut it. And what that means is so like, say a company wants to come to Vegas or Nevada, they have to have an alternative plan that the state's going to run.
Okay.
For everybody, for a public option. Mm-hmm. And so we right now are low on doctors, or low on nurses, and so we go in that direction. That's going to do nothing to bring quality doctors to the state of Nevada. Mm-hmm. It's going to do nothing to solve our healthcare issue. So that's one of the first things. I'm all into that. So then the reason why, we were talking a little bit before we got started, is in 2017, I got diagnosed with an incurable blood disease called amyloidosis.
Wow.
And it affected my heart, so it was called cardiac amyloidosis.
Oh, wow.
Now it's all good. I'm kicking it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so very rare disease. We all know that Vegas gets a bad rap about the bad doctors and all that. Well, I had a rare disease, so they didn't find it. Well, I went to Keck Medical in LA. They didn't find it either.
Wow.
So I literally was going to die. And so finally, my last.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
This is what I tell people when they say something can't be done. Mm-hmm. I say, We sent a probe to Mars. We sent a probe to Mars, but yet on planet Earth, we can't get something done.
Well, Steve, they told I had cardiologists, because they gave me what do you call that when you have AFib? I forgot that. It's an ablation, coronary ablation. They thought that was the issue. Well, they did that. That wasn't the issue. Well, after this, that, and the other, they literally said, they sent me home. There's nothing we can do for you. Well, why do I have congestive heart failure? Well, because you must eat poor foods. No, I don't. You must you must not exercise. That's anyway. So there's guys.
Look at you.
There's guys like me walking out of their office that are going to be dead in a year, all the time. So anyway, I went through 2 years of chemotherapy, along with.
So you had cancer?
No, it's a blood disease. So here's how it is.
And you got to go through chemo for the blood disease?
It's a very rare disease. So it's a sister to multiple myeloma. So here's what happens. It's a bone marrow disorder. It's a blood disorder, but your bone marrow creates proteins that go out in your body and it builds things, right? Okay. And for the sake of the illustration, the proteins are shaped like squares and circles and rectangles, hypothetically. Some of my proteins that come out of my bone marrow are, the medical community calls them misfolded. So instead of being squares and circles and rectangles, they might be a squiggly line. So they're basically rogue proteins. So they're floating around in my system, but they're non-biodegradable and non-perishable, and they're sticky. So they stick onto your organs. They start to accumulate. So they were shutting down my heart.
Oh boy!
And they were on my GI system, my nerves. I don't feel my feet right now. I got some issues, but I mean. I just went back to Mayo.
How old are you?
I'm 59 years old.
You're still young.
I'm young. I feel like a champ. I feel better today than I felt 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that has to do with, my diet, my exercise, and my psychology, because I feel like, the chemo was there, obviously, but it was my mindset that healed me.
Gotcha.
Because trust me, it was a lot of people don't make it, and the people that do make it, because there's other people besides me that have made it, I've talked to them. Mm-hmm. They're upbeat, positive. They don't see themselves dying. Mm-hmm. So I'm a big believer in psychology, So, with that being said, now during my chemo, this is where I'm getting, sorry about the long story. There's only one, I'm an independent business owner, right? Okay. So I had an insurance policy just for me and my family.
And you're a professional speaker?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So I don't work for a big company, I work for myself. Mm-hmm. Well, because of Obamacare, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nevada moved out of town, and I have Sienna Health, which was the only carrier that would carry me.
Blue Cross Blue Shield is still here?
Well, I couldn't get them.
Okay.
No, seriously, because it was the only option.
And the reason why I know that, because I do medical coding.
I would love that. So anyway, Sienna Health canceled my wife at the time. I was so sick that she said, just let me take care of the insurance. She put it on a card of hers, and they went to pull the money out, and there wasn't any money there.
Right.
So I went to the doctor, and they said, sir, you don't have any insurance. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, anyway, we called Sienna. Sir, you guys are 10 days late on a payment. Oh, I'm sorry. Just a mix up here. I've got the money. Let me take care of it. Canceled it right there on the spot. No questions asked. So that crushes. So it crushed our financial position. Now imagine, are you guys married?
Steve is.
Steve, you're married? Imagine having conversations with your wife about, do we go into our savings and take our savings away, or do we try to save your life? Mm-hmm. I mean, or do we just ride it out, I should say? Do we take savings and save your life, or do we ride it out? And those
take savings.
Those are, of course we did.
Because if you're dead, you can't do anything.
Exactly. I mean, but those are real conversations, right? It sounds crazy, and so luckily for me, I was able to, find a friend of mine who put me on his company policy through a W-9. I mean, so I figured it out. But most people probably can't do that, and they're stuck. So, I feel like that's a place that we need to change, and most people don't even know about it. So I want to tell you guys, I'm doing things a little different. So I had a meet and greet last night,
okay,
and it's at a wine bar. I went to a few fundraisers, boring as hell. People walk in, shake hands. Somebody introduces someone, they shake more hands, and they drink, and then they leave.
Well, why are these fundraisers, all you see is candidates?
My point exactly. So anyway.
We're the people that are voting.
So I'm doing this, did a fundraiser, but I'm doing meet and greets, and I do them at a wine lounge. And I have wine, hors d'oeuvres, I have a blues player. I come out and I talk about my platform, but also talk about bills and policy. So I'm educating my constituents on certain bills and policy.
Right.
And then I bring in other candidates for them to see, because when I was just a regular citizen, which I still am, but I'd go into the voting booth and I wouldn't know those names. I would know the names, but I don't know who they were.
Right.
So I vote for the guy I see the most signs of. right? So I'm
very educational way to vote.
Right. He's got a good sign.
I see that name all the time. I got to vote for it.
Yeah. So last night I had Fred Simon, who's running for governor. I had Toby Urick, who's running for state assembly, and I had Stan Hite, who's running for sheriff. Now, obviously, I'm not endorsing these people because nobody cares about my endorsement. I'm bringing people in so my constituents can make an educated decision on who they're going to vote for. And it's been incredible. It's grown so much, and people are telling other people because they like to be educated versus just talked to about what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Everybody says that what they're going to do, but again, do they have the execution skills? Do they have the mentality? You have to have thick skin, right? You got to have thick skin to do this, and I'm definitely fit for the job.
So this bill that you want to propose, what would you call it?
Well, it's I don't know. I mean, it's SB 420 is the bill,
right? So it's already existing.
It's already existing. We've just had to dismantle it. So I don't know the terminology to use, whether it's taking out provisions. I don't know how the terminology, and I'll learn all that, but. I'm committed. I can speak on that. I'm passionate about it. It ruined my family. And that's one of the things I want to change.
What else do you have?
Well, you take a look at school choice, obviously. I'm an educator, so I have my teaching degree. I can teach K through 12 and also teach in college. I have a master's.
So you want to go back to the ESAs? Which never got out the gate.
Right, never got out of the gate. Here's all I know, and I put it in real simple terms. We are paying money, we're all paying taxes.
Right.
And those taxes get allocated to these school districts in an amount per child. If this school district is not educating your student properly, this parent should have the choice to take that money and go elsewhere. End of story. I don't know what you want to call it, the ESA or whatever, but there's no freedom there if you can't take your child somewhere to learn versus getting indoctrinated or, You're telling me that half these kids that graduated from Vegas can't read?
Well, the ESAs were first, when the ESAs first came out, one of the conditions is you have to be in a public school for about 100 days before you could qualify.
Oh.
So when it was coming out, a lot of people were taking their kids out of private schools and putting them in public schools so they could meet that 100-day criteria.
Makes sense.
But then when they did it, like me, ACLU came out and says, hey, this ESA is no good because we have religion in there. And a lot of these religious schools, they probably only teach about like 45 minutes of religion.
Right.
but their curriculum is huge, and their curriculum is advanced, and you have to keep up with all that homework or else you're out of there. So it's more, you learn a lot more in a faster pace in these private schools.
Right.
The public schools is a lot slower. So I don't know if somebody's going to have the heart to bring the ESAs back on the table. I think they should because, ESAs is educational, what is it? I forgot the name as well, but I know obviously I know what it is. Educational Systems Administration or something like that. I forget what it stands for, but I know what it's supposed to do. Same. You're supposed to get money.
Supposed to get money and take that money.
You're talking about the ESAs?
Yeah.
It's Educational Savings Account.
Savings Account. That's what it is. Yeah. I forgot what the S meant. I forgot what the A meant too. Which is interesting because now I pulled up another survey. And, so Nevada is currently ranked overall education 49th. There's some other little stuff that goes on there, but I'm not going to bore everybody with that stuff. But did you know, a little known fact, Nevada is also ranked 49th on the amount of tax dollars it gets back from Washington, D.C.
Oh, geez.
So every resident in the state of Nevada roughly sends $10,500 a year per resident to Washington, D.C., and we get $5,400 back. We're 49th in the nation on that.
That's not a very good odd. No, we have a terrible CPA then.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, Nevada's getting a raw deal from the federal government on that stuff. I'll bring that up to
maybe we need more people in office that have a CPA background.
Right. Some business people, right? Good Lord, right?
So that I'm glad you brought that up because that moves me into a question I have for you. So what do you know about, I don't expect you to be an expert on it, but the general fund?
I don't know a lot about it.
Because one of the things that I would like to see done with the general fund, I was talking with Bob Beers, and Bob Beers said, well, you can't just do away with the general fund. That just won't
That's
work.
where all the marijuana money is.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So like the general fund is basically this huge slush fund, and taxpayers don't know where this money is going.
Right.
Would you be willing to maybe not sponsor, but at least be a part of a bill that amends the general fund? In other words, like it's full transparency. So like, for instance, the marijuana money that was supposed to be for education goes into the general fund. Everybody needs to know, like, where did that money go?
So there's no accountability.
There's no accountability at all in the general fund.
Why am I not surprised?
And we were planning on suing the state to find out where the marijuana money went.
Right.
And one of our lawyers told us that we didn't have any stand-in. So I'm going to still pursue that.
Yeah, what do you mean?
And see if we do have stand-in. And to sue the state to find out where that marijuana, because it's supposed to go to education, and yet we still have school shortage, we still have overcrowded of students.
And we're still 47th or 49th.
And teachers are still not getting paid.
Yeah.
So somebody's ripping
Somebody's
just something to look at, because I've actually been talking to a lot of candidates and stuff and people that are running, and actually, to his credit, Sheriff Lombardo brought it up at his event that he would like to see something done with the general fund as well.
Well, I think just hearing it, I would have to do. I would study and research it, but just hearing what you said, it would be ridiculous not to amend it or like you said, propose some type of. Anyway, so it's ridiculous that we have a general fund and we have no accountability.
That SB what number was that?
420.
420. That's a Senate bill, right?
Yeah.
Do you know who sponsored that bill?
Not offhand, I do, but I don't know offhand.
Maybe you want to get with that person if they're still in office.
Yeah.
And you could probably work it out that way.
Yeah, we got to figure it out.
I don't want to say his name on air, but I know a state senator. I don't know if he had anything to do with creating the bill or not, but I know a state senator that's a doctor, and I'm pretty sure he probably wouldn't understand that bill.
Gotcha.
So
he is a Republican. Well, some people don't think so, but.
Yeah.
What else would you do for a state?
Well, again, school choice is a big thing for me, just from the educational standpoint. How
about campus carry?
Campus carry, carrying a gun on campus.
That was one of the Michelle Furey's bill when she was assembly. It was based on a student that got raped.
Oh my God!
On the campus, and she's also a CCW carrier, but she couldn't carry on the campus because of the rules, and she was raped. So would you do something about campus carry?
I'm open to that conversation. I'd like to study it and see what that looks like, and if there's been other situations, because if she had a CCW, I don't know the rules around college campuses. So are they all different, or are they all the same? Meaning, like, you can't carry on a campus.
Well, the state law says you can't carry.
It's a state law.
Gotcha.
So would you think about?
I'm open to it. I mean, it's always a little interesting when you're talking about students, just because of the age.
Well, we're talking college students.
It's still. I mean,
what are you saying? What are you saying to me, Dan?
I'm saying
you're 17 years old. You could go sign on a dotted line to give your life for this country.
I understand.
The average combat age in Vietnam is 19.
Yeah.
The average combat age in the war against terror is the same, was 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
So if you're 19, 17, 18, and you could go give your life for this country, my God, you could carry a weapon on campus.
When you say that, it makes sense. I mean, when you put it that way, it makes sense. So, yeah. Yep. So, I mean, it's the only thing I would think about is safety, but I get it. So, I'm open to it.
Double class. I mean, if you want to carry a weapon on a college campus, you should go through more training.
Correct.
To get that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Not the regular CCW training that you have, which I don't have any problems with that. I hope they don't make it any more difficult than what it is.
Yeah.
But if you want to carry on campus, they should have some type of, all right, well, you get another card or you get something on your
Yes.
Concealed carry,
Yes.
and you get like a little sticker, just like driver's license. When you go through the airport, you got that gold star, whatever the crap is that they got on there. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
And then with driver's license too, you got what kind of class driver's license is.
That's right. That's right.
Because I'm a class C, so I can't go out and jump in a semi and take off because right. Because I'd have
you need a little more training.
Right, exactly.
You can't even get on a motorcycle.
Right. No.
That's funny.
You need more training.
Yep.
So how do you feel about Common Core? And I'm bringing up stuff that's already been there.
No, I mean, if you look, I'm against Common Core. I'm against all that stuff. I mean, I'm a Christian conservative. I don't know if you can put me in that box, but I'm a conservative.
My daughter tells me this is how she explained Common Core to me. She goes, Dad, if the regular way of math, and she's 13, if you go from here to here, right? Yeah. That's easy, right?
That's easy.
Why do you have to go over here, then go over here, and then go over here, and then go over here, and then go over here to get...
Yeah.
Why do you have to do all that zigzag when you just go right there?
I've seen it, and I wouldn't be able to do it.
So that's how Common Core is. It takes you all over the place.
It's ridiculous.
When the regular math, 2 + 2 is what?
4.
Right, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, but then you know what happened with Common Core, and this is what cracks me up, is that psychologists said, well, instead of teaching somebody to just memorize 2 + 2 is 4, let's figure out the psychology behind how 2 + 2 = 4.
Well, they did a bad job.
And everybody has a different way of going about it. So somebody might go 1 + 1 and then move this over. It's just stupid.
Right.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I had to say it. It's just stupid.
You do understand how BDRs, the bill draft requests, that all bills, first when you write up a bill, or you write up something of a bill you want, and you take it to the Assembly General Council, and then they bring it back, and then the bill gets accepted. Then it goes into a committee. Depends on what the subject matter is. How would you plan to get anything out of committees?
Those are questions that I don't know the answer to yet. I mean, and I'm being totally transparent here because I literally just filed, and so now it's.
But you've been running, right? You've been running before you filed, right? I mean, you've been going to events.
Oh, sure. But that's there's stages in this thing. So BDRs, that's a required event that we have to do when we win and go up to Carson City. That's not on my radar right now. So
have you ever been to Carson City?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I've never seen the legislation room though. Or I've never.
You haven't been on assembly floor?
No, I have not. So I'm excited about that. But here's how I feel about it. There's, do I know what I need to know right now to be a state assemblyman? No way. Okay. But I will by June. You've got to get in the landscape, and you got to learn who to talk to. You got to learn the landscape. I have higher goals than state assembly, but I'm a businessman. I realize that you have to learn the fundamentals and get to know the landscape and get to know how things work. Yeah. So I always go back to sports. I played on a college basketball team that we won 2 straight national titles. And if you stack up the athletes 1 to 14 on a scholarship from athleticism, I was probably number 9.
Oh, okay.
But I started 2 straight years.
Okay.
And that's because of hustle and a winning attitude.
Right.
I have a saying that I teach my, everybody all my clients, and hustle and winning attitude makes up for a lot of deficiencies. Right. So, I went to work for Tony Robbins, didn't know how to do that. 1 year later, I'm the top performer, the number 1 guy in the country.
So you're a quick study then?
I get it done. I know how to do it. So it's just a matter of, I don't know what I need to know right now, but every day I'm getting smarter. I'm learning. I want to be the best. I want to be able to, I've got the skills to do it. I just need to get the knowledge, and that's easy for me.
So you said something interesting right now. You said that something about going up to the next level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you pick assembly?
The reason why I picked assembly, it's I knew a guy that ran a couple times.
I know several guys.
Yeah, I knew a guy that ran a couple times and he got beat. And he was working out.
Who's this?
Pat McNaught.
Oh, I know Patrick.
Yeah, he's a lobbyist now. And so he works, he lives in my country club.
Wow, that's a name from the past.
Yeah. So Pat lives in my country club. We've been friends.
He lives at your country club?
Yeah, we lived in in the same community.
Oh, okay.
So I saw him in the gym, and I walked up to him and said, hey, Pat, like, what was that position that you ran for because he got beat twice.
He ran for state senate.
Yeah, he got beat twice. And
against my son.
Did he?
Yeah.
So, and he said, why? He said state assembly. And I said, why? He says, why, do you want to run? I said, I do want to run. He goes, let me make some calls for you. Mm-hmm. So all I knew is why I wanted to get involved. I didn't know how to get involved. And if it wasn't for Pat, who knows what to do, right? There's so many moving parts, and it's a whole new world.
It is.
So he was able to introduce me to Eric and Omar to run my campaign, get me with the right people so I could make good decisions. Okay. And so they are guiding me on what I need to know and when I need to know it. Like right now, I'm filling out pamphlets every day to send to these people for possible endorsements, right? That's all I do, I swear to God, and I'm going to all these events. Yeah. So it's, that's the phase we're in now.
Grassroots is the key.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I love that stuff. I love engaging with the people. That's one of my strong suits. So I'm looking forward to the door knocking stuff. I got no problem with that. Okay. I love that.
Do you have anything else that you want to bring to the assembly?
Well, it's common sense, a winning attitude, and leadership skills. I'm not afraid.
Okay.
I'm not afraid. So, you get attacked. I had a situation just last week where, people say things to you. Mm-hmm. And
we get that all the time. On a daily.
I'm sure, right?
It's just one air out the other.
Yeah.
But that's an idiot.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time.
But then when they engage with you and they say things that are ridiculous.
Then you slap them.
Well, I would like to. I would like to, maybe years ago, but I've got the skills to be able to deal with that. And so that's a good thing. And so, as a speaker, when you're in front of either 10 people or 100 people or 1,000 people, and, maybe you're doing a Q&A and you've got to be able to run with that and be able to deal with that. So,
who's currently in 23 now?
Well, it was Glenn Levitt's position. And he's going up to, he's going up to Senate.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So it's me and two other people, two women and myself that are running for the Republican nomination.
Boy, you better hope the Me Too movement don't me you out.
No. I really feel like people are looking for the right candidate. So that's my hope. That's my optimism. Although I did have I met a group of people and I introduced myself to them, and they were all black. I was sitting with 6 black people, and I was telling them that I was running, and they were all Democrats. And so they were starting to,
They laughed at you?
Well, they wanted to talk to me, but they were so happy that I was engaging with them.
Okay.
I mean, literally, they thought that I wouldn't talk to them.
There's a lot of black Republicans out there.
I do.
It's amazing how that works when you actually take the time.
That's what I'm saying. People. Anyway, here's what they told me. So I was chatting with them all, and one of the women.
All black people are not Democrats.
No, they're not. No. But these 6 were.
Some of them stay in the closet because they don't want any repercussions from their family members.
The guy in the end was a Republican. Yes, he was. But one of the women said, "Are you single or are you married?" I said, "I'm single." She goes, "Well, you need to marry a black woman."
Oh boy!
I said, "Really?" And I said, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, just." I said, "Okay, how about Candace Owens if I married her?" They're like, no. I said, "Oh, so it's not the color, it's the message." And so I just found that interesting, and the fact that I was able to engage with her and have a conversation, and then she was stumped. It was a good thing. And so, not that I want to stump people, but it's good to have ability to communicate, because most people are just spitting out the rhetoric they hear on the radio, and they don't even know what they're talking about,
they follow the flock.
Follow the flock, man. Yeah. And so I'm just excited about it. I want to make a difference to my community. I want to make a difference to the state. And I'm a hustler.
Okay.
And I'm a winner.
You're not a used car salesman, are you?
No, never sold it. Never sold a car in my life. Never sold a car in my life.
So, Mr. Lier.
Yes, sir.
Did anything else you'd like to mention?
Yeah. I'd like to tell people, if you're watching, you can follow me on Instagram, which is Dan Lier for Nevada.
Okay.
Which is
we're going to do that.
Oh, you're going to do that.
We're going to do that. Jimmy, you have anything else for Mr. Lier?
No, other than so I'm glad. So you have that link now, so you can check and see.
Yes. Yeah. He was teaching me how to check for people who filed, so I got that.
Yeah. Okay.
See, I'm learning
stuff. Best of luck to you. That is a big assembly district. You got a lot of ground to cover. Yeah.
What's the population over there, by the way?
Well, I know there's 33,000 people that are eligible to vote. They say there's only like
that's a number.
There's only 24 to 30% that actually do vote. Mm-hmm. So I've got certain numbers that I'm trying to hit. And
how many people is on your walk list that you have?
I haven't even got the walk list yet. So again, it's coming next week. We're just Dan,
you need to speed it up, Dan.
I'm taking coaching from my team, brother.
The minute you walk into an event and you say, I am running, you should have your website already done. Your business cards are already done.
Well, that's all done. You asked me about walking.
Your walk list is already done. And you're like, I'm not finished. Your walk list is already done, and you already started to knock on doors.
Perfect. Well,
that's how you do it.
Yeah, well, I got everything except the doors. And I got some other stuff, too. Okay. So, but yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm excited about that, Steve. I really am. I'm excited about it. Make it fun. I love that stuff. And I got people that want to help me. I've got young people that want to help me, too. So I got young people and old people and black people and white people and all kinds.
You got it all covered.
I got it all covered. I'm a man of the people.
Rainbow Coalition.
I'm a man of the people. So when are we going to tell them on how to catch them?
Mr. Lier.
Yes, sir.
Look into the camera over there, and Mark is going to zoom in on you and tell people why they should go to the voting booth and vote for you and your point of contact.
Yes, you should vote for, the choice is clear, vote for Dan Lier. Head and shoulders above the rest at 6'8". In all seriousness, I'm a guy that's committed to the job. I'm here for the right reasons. I want to make a difference. I don't care about whatever else comes with the territory. You meet some people along the way that they're not in it for the right reasons. So I'm 59 years old, I'm single, I've got plenty of energy, and this is really my second chapter. This is my second chance after beating this life-threatening disease. So I'm not afraid, I've got the skills to do it. I want to make a difference, and I'm committed to doing that. So when you get to the voting booth and you see Dan Lier, that's the choice is clear, vote for Dan Lier.
I love that.
Thank you.
That has a catchy tune to it.
Now, how do I tell them about
I can make a jingle out of that whole thing.
I got a guy making a song right now.
Oh,
I don't mess around.
Is it a rap song?
It's got a little bit of rap in there. We didn't go with Eazy-E with NWA, but
Eazy-E's dead.
Yeah, I know that. You
need to get some Snoop Dogg or some Ice Cube.
I'm not a Snoop fan, or I kind of like Ice Cube.
Or Dr. Dre. I know you like Dr. Dre.
I'm okay with Dre.
Yeah. He's got.
I'm more of a Drake guy, quite frankly.
Okay.
But should I tell them where to reach me?
Sure.
You can reach me on Instagram at Dan Lier for Nevada. That's DANLIER for the number 4 Nevada. Same thing on Facebook. If you do on YouTube, I've got a channel where you can find the candidates that I'm interviewing on my YouTube channel. Just type in Dan Lier for Nevada. Also Twitter as well. So find me there, and I look forward to communicating. Watch my campaign, doing some things different. Come to my fundraisers and my meet and greets. I've got showgirls, DJs, we're having food. I'm doing a game show. I'm bringing in candidates. We're doing it different. Politics does not have to be boring. You can have fun and learn, and that's what we're doing.
Very good.
Thank you.
Me and Jim getting the invitation?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Now that I got your emails, and you can get all my invitations.
Okay. well, Mr. Lier, thank you so much for coming on the program.
You're welcome. It's my honor.
Really appreciate it. It's been very inspirational.
Thank you.
It's not going to be like our next show. That's going to be a very, very serious show we're going to have. Ooh. Yeah. Folks, that's Dan Lier. He's a candidate for Nevada Assembly District number 23. And we want folks to educate themselves before they go into the voting booth. And that's the purpose of this whole platform, is to educate voters before you vote for a candidate. Don't look at the smiley face, the charisma. Don't look at that. Look at what's actually in the person's heart. If this person is going to better your life, that's why you want to vote for this person. This is Steve Sanchez, Jim Jones for Veterans of Politics. Until next time.